So I get asked about King of Avalon march capacity almost every day. How do I send out more troops in PvP? How do I have a bigger march in the mines? In this video, I'll go over all of that as it works in Solar Kingdoms. But if you stick around towards the end, I guarantee that 99% of players will learn something new about march capacity, whether you're in Solar, you're in Lunar, or even if you play Dragon Reborn. Hey guys, this is Heretic, and this is the march capacity guide for King of Avalon Solar Kingdoms. If you enjoy mobile games and like content like this, like the video and let me know how you feel in the comments. If you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell, you'll be the first to know when there's a new video. Alright, so let's get started. The very first place we're going to look is in your Stronghold. So if you go click your Stronghold, you click Info, you go to More Info, you'll see this nice little march capacity buff here. So you get 100 for level 2, then 150 and so on. Once you get up to 31, you'll start going up 10%. So you'll see your march capacity boost up here. All right, to it looks like about 10,000 a level until you get to 45, which will go up 15,000 for that level. All right, so let's look next at your Lord talents. So in your Lord talents, you can get a maximum of 15,000, which you can look here. You get 5,000. And then another 5,000, and finally level 3, which is, you got it, 5,000. So that's 15,000 in total. Math skills for the win. All right, so let's go to your research. So this one's kind of interesting. Combat 1 will give you a total of 40,000. So you get 10, and you can, this will be the same. So you have march capacity 1, and it goes all the way up to march capacity 4. 4 times 10, 40,000 for combat 1. Combat 2, combat 2 actually will take you up 10,000 and then another 10,000 at the end, so grand total of 20,000 for combat 2. So then you go to War Fury, and in War Fury you can raise your march capacity a total of 25,000. So if you look here, level 5 will give you 25,000. It costs quite a bit of your Philosopher's Stones, but that's all right. And King's Legion is where you can get a ton of march capacity. With level 1, it'll take you up 20,000. Level 2 will take you up another 20,000. Level 3 will take you up another 20,000. Level 4, another 20,000. So that's 80. But look, there's a level 5. Level 5 will take you up 30,000 for a total of 110,000 just from King's Legion. So in total, in research, if you're Stronghold 45, everything maxed out, you can get 195,000 march capacity added on to your Stronghold. That's pretty amazing. Okay, so let's look at your heroes. So this is in Solar, right? So your heroes can give you a maximum, and this may go up at some point, but a maximum, and it's only going to count the heroes you're actually sending out. So you can only send 2 out at a time. And the total would be 12,000 that you could add to your march from heroes. All right, so next let's go ahead and look at dragon skills. So if you get a dragon, and while we're here, Your dragon emblems and your draconic stones have no effect on march capacity at all, but your skills do, because there's a skill for march capacity called March of Fury. You can get up to 43,000, maxing it out at evolve level 5. As you go up, you're evolving your skill. It will jump quite a bit, 42 to 55%. So another 13% added to the total there. All right, so let's get over to some of the buffs that you can get. One of them is from the Crown of Command, which will give you a 15% march capacity. You also have your city buffs. So in your city buffs, you can get either a 25% buff, or with some event rewards, you can get a 50% march capacity buff. When you get those, you need to save them. They are worth a ton. You also get, as part of your Lord talents, as you're training up your war talents here, you'll get to Colossal March, and Colossal March will give you a 10% buff for 30 minutes. So you get those here in skills, and you can apply that, and as soon as you apply it, you have it for 30 minutes. Okay, so how do you increase the march capacity in the mines? So this is one that I get asked constantly. So to do this, go in and reset the Spire. And where it says resetting the Spire will clear your progress and make you start again from level 1. Do you wish to continue? Confirm. All right. So at this point, what you would want to do is set all of your buffs, everything. You'll want your Colossal March, you'll want your Crown of Command on, you'll want your city buff, you'll want everything that you can do to possibly raise your march capacity. Then you'll click Enter Spire, and it says the Lady of the Lake will teleport you to your highest floor so far. This is the important part. Click No. Now you'll start off at level 1. And so no matter where you go now, your march capacity will be at the march capacity that you had. So I see 361 here. Watch what I do. I'm going to step back out, reset it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put on my Crown of Command. I am going to apply my march capacity. I have a 25% now. If I had a 50% applied already for another reason like KVK or something, at that point I would say, hey, I have that 50% march capacity applied. I'm going to go ahead and reset my mines. Because you'll want to reset your mines every once in a while because you're researching and you're growing and you're getting a higher march capacity just over time. So I'm going to go ahead and activate this. And now I'm going to go back to the mines. Enter Spire. No. Now I'm going to start on level 1. Now I'm up to 451. So now no matter what level I go up to, which it'll be really easy to go back up to where I was because this is a piece of cake. Right? It just takes a minute. But you get the point. So now you've got that 451 march capacity compared to the 361 that I had just a little bit ago. So now I'm going to tell you something that you probably never realized, or maybe you didn't care, but once you hear it, it'll make a lot of sense. So, you have all these buffs. The buffs that I just applied, they're the percentage buffs. They're the Crown of Command, they're the march capacity buff, and it's the Colossal March skill that I applied. What do those percentages actually go against? Did it go against the 361? No. Each one of those individually apply against this. I'm level 41, so my March capacity is 180k. That's my base. That's what I get with my Stronghold. So each one of those percentage-based buffs will apply against this individually. So we're going to take a look at one, and just to kind of prove it. So right now I don't have the Crown of Command on. The Crown of Command gives 15%. So if I go over to my March and I look at my March right now, it is 436,680. So if I go ahead and I put on my Crown of Command, I click replace, that's a 15% buff. If I go over here to my March, and now I've gone up to 463,680, which is a 27,000 troop upgrade buff. So 27,000 happens to be exactly 15% of 180,000. So you can trust my math here. So 15%, for just the Crown of Command, that applies against the 180. Now, if I want to apply that Colossal March, that will apply against the 180,000. So the Colossal March is what? 10%? So that 10% will apply against 180,000, which will be 18,000 added onto your March. Then if you have your city buff's 25%. 25% of 180,000 is, whatever it is. That's what's added. They're added individually, but they're all based on that 180,000. So it's not cumulative. So it doesn't keep adding. When you add the 10% and then you add the 25%, it's not the 180 plus the 10%, now another 25% of that total. So it's still just 25% of the 180, 10% of the 180, etc. that's added. So I hope this helps. I hope you did learn something new here, because I learned it after playing 5 years, not really realizing how that March capacity, how those percentages actually applied, like where they come from. So, after 5 years, I'm still learning new things. So I hope this helps. And let me know in the comments if you already knew. Let me know if you didn't know. And let me know what you'd like to see in the next King of Avalon base video. I will be doing videos on other games, on mobile gaming in general. So I hope you stay tuned. Thank you.